Yes, boss. Let's do it, man. If someone trusts you, don't screw that up. Now, I never did a video like this, and I had this one parked up for a hot little minute. Here's the deal. Trust can take years to be built, can be gone in seconds, right? Here's the deal. What some people don't realize, or they fail to realize, is that if a person trusts you, it takes a lot for a person to trust somebody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying there aren't some people who don't trust people blindly and they haven't made others work for it. But if a person trusts you, do not screw that up. I understand there's some people, they don't mind burning the bridges with people like, you're not even a real blessing, or I don't care about having you as a friend. That's completely fine. That's on you. But understand this, in life, people who are trustworthy are hard to come by. To say you have somebody solid in your corner, or somebody that's righteous, or they're for you, that's very hard to say you have. It's better yet say, to find somebody that has your best interests at heart, that's very hard to say you can find in this world. So to burn a bridge with somebody or screw over somebody that trusts you, that's got to be one of the stupidest moves in life. And I'm going to tell you why, right? In the world that we're living in, the world isn't getting any sweeter. It's getting harder. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who've thrown in the towel with life on the whole, not wanting to work, not caring about friendships, not caring about relationships, not caring about people on the whole sometimes, right? So to see that over time in the course of life, there are some people who've been burned badly through family, friends, lover, whatever, right? Eventually that adds on to a person. I'll give you myself as an example. Me, I have bad trust issues, super bad trust issues that developed from my mom. So a lot of my choices in life, when I really sit down and think about it, the friends that I had or whatever the case may be, I sat back and I realized like, from what my mom did to me, that already gave me like a lot of pain. So the more pain that I see or I get from other people, I'm gonna just get rid of you, bro, because I don't want to deal with that. And one, I force, like me per se, I know I don't deserve that. You get what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what? I don't need all of that stuff. If I know people out here just want to burn my trust like that, and I know I'm a decent person, I don't need to have you around. I'm gonna drop you. Understand this: the more damage that a person takes, that's more pain that they have to live with. Believe it or not, if you break somebody's trust, you just cause them pain in some form of way. You stole that person's money. You backdoored that person for their spouse or whatever. Or you found out something that could have been vital to your friend, but you never really told them. These are little things that causes trust issues. So if a person trusts you and you choose to forfeit that, piss it away, whatever the case may be, you're going to pay for that. Because I'm going to tell you why. The world that we live in, it's not like you could go outside and be like, hey, that's a decent, genuine person. That's my new friend. It's not like that. It doesn't work like that. Finding good people or finding trustworthy people, it's not like as easy as you going to like the corner store or like the grocery store and saying, yeah, let me go get that bag of rice over there. It's not common like that. You get what I'm saying? So if you have people in your corner or people that are close to you, immediate, whatever the case may be, that are trustworthy, that trust you, the best thing you could ever do is to build that connection, water it, let it grow, whatever the case may be. Don't do anything to screw that up, because I'm going to tell you why. When you burn somebody's trust, there's no guarantee that that person's going to open back up the door. I'm going to say that again. If you burn somebody's trust, yes, some people are more forgiving than others, but there are some people, as I stated, they felt a lot of pain. They felt a lot of betrayal. So if you burn somebody's trust, guess what? It's not to say, you could fix the situation with an apology. You got to understand something. And this is another lesson into this, right? Sometimes when you give people your trust easily and you don't make them work for it, they may not respect it. And I'm going to break that down. In life, if you give a person something and they never rightfully worked hard for it, they may not respect it. I'm not saying that they just off top chose not to respect it, but if a person did not put in work and time for something, they're probably going to piss it away because it was given to them. If you make a person work for something and then you give it to them like, you earned this, guaranteed a person's going to be that much more willing to appreciate it. Because why? They work for it. You feel me? As opposed to you giving something to somebody. So example into that, right? If you piss away something that somebody gave to you or whatever the case may be, you broke somebody's trust, that's a stain that that person now has to live with. You may not know how far that stain or that cut may go, but you just know for a fact you just harmed that person in some form of a way. Now, some people do things intentionally. Some people, it's unintentional. But you just got to weigh it on the scale. So example, in the weighing things on the scale. If somebody cheats on you, this is my rule, right? If a person cheats, guess what? That was a choice. You feel me? I understand that flesh is weak, all of that there, yeah. But if a person cheats, that was a choice. You feel me? You choosing to allow a person back in on a situation like that, sometimes you doing that and a person not knowing or feeling it, they're going to feel like they could do it and get away with it again. Because I already did it before. So if you don't know how to check a certain situation or make a person feel when they've caused you some form of pain or damage, they're going to feel like they can continue doing it. Because I already messed up one situation. Now you gave me a new clean slate. I didn't have to feel any pain or feel what I put you through. Or I'm not saying you inflict pain on a person, but you have to let a person know that what they did was very detrimental. It's a slim chance you're going to get another chance. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes in life, when a person burns somebody's trust and they may not know how to rebuild or know what it took to get to that level, the hardest thing to do is to rebuild that. Because example, how do you rebuild trust that was either given or let's say you earned it and then you forfeited it for like some bullshit? So example, you stole from a person or you crossed a person over or you went behind somebody's back to do something. You got to look at it from another aspect and spin the role around. If a person did that to you, would you allow them back in? Some people are more forgiving than others, as I stated, but at the same time, you got to sit there and think about it. What are the odds that this person's going to feel like they can do this again to you, or they can play that same game, or we're going to do this dance again later on? There are some people that have their game cut out for them in life. You just have to understand what it is that you're doing and what you're allowing. So that's why I said trust can take years to be built back up. Because think about it. For you to betray somebody, right? It tells on your character as well. Think about it. I'm not saying people can't be in a state of survival where a person might have, let's say a person stole something. Okay, cool. You stole. I'm not condoning that. Some people are in different situations than others. But for you to steal from somebody who probably labeled you trustworthy or probably wouldn't even harm you or do something to you, that really is telling about your character. Because think about it. You just stole from somebody who probably would even help you out or help you in a tough time or a rough patch, whatever the case may be. You chose to screw over a friend who's probably one of the most solid friends you ever had. What does that say? Your character is piss poor. Because you don't have a proper discernment. I'm not saying not a proper discernment, but off of free will, you chose to do fuckery. You get what I'm saying? Instead of you doing something righteous, like, you know what? This person was there for me. They were solid with me. I'm not going to cross them. Understand this. The day and age that we're living in, people are more likely to do more shiesty, nefarious things than ever before. Because social media is on. The crowd is there. People are watching. You have to understand that this is human nature all being exposed with like everything thrown into the fold right now. So are you going to be loyal to your spouse? Are you going to be loyal to your friends? Are you going to be loyal to this person? Are you going to do right by your family? Are you going to do right by this person? You have to understand that there are some people in life, they're just habitual fuck-ups. That's just what it is, bro. Some people are never going to get their shit together because they've been given too many chances. Some people, they don't know what it's like to run out of chances. You feel me? So understand that in life, to betray somebody or go against them or whatever the case may be, there's consequences behind that. And I'm going to finish it off right here, right? To betray somebody that was there for you, there can be consequences behind that. To go against somebody who probably would have never did something like that to you, there's consequences. To do something like foul to probably somebody who never deserved it, there's consequences to that, bro. Mind you, you may do certain things to certain people and people may not know the full details, but people know what type of person you are. It's pretty much game over for you, dog. So understand this. Breaking trust for people, that's hard to rebuild. As well as breaking trust, you don't know if you're going to ever get back a person that's solid or a person that's willing to go to the end of the earth for you, like that person did that you burned. You feel me? So understand that in life, you want to be a person that makes smart choices. You don't want to make dumb choices, bro. There's a lot of people who make dumb choices and it gets them far. There's a lot of people who made dumb choices and they found themselves right back on the hamster wheel. But what I'm telling you is, be the person that makes smart choices so you don't have to question later on down the line, yo, whatever happened to these friends that I had her? Yo, why isn't this person around? Sometimes you have to sit back and look at the things that you've done. And there are some people, they don't want to look themselves in the mirror because they know that they're a shitty individual. They know that they're foul. They know that they're not righteous. Then there's some people who know these things and go out there and play like they're a solid individual to the world to avoid what? Accountability. You feel me? With that being said, remember this. Words can help you. They can hurt you. But here on my channel, I use them to uplift you because everybody's a champion. Nobody's a loser, man. 440 for the world, man. Just remember this in life, bro. If a person trusts you, don't burn that trust, bro. That's like burning a bridge, bro. You don't know when you're going to need to cross that bridge. If you cannot build a bridge, I say this all the time. If you cannot build a bridge, you cannot swim. You don't know how to start over in a new situation. Don't be out here burning bridges, dog. Because that's like crazy. That's like a person acting like they hold the keys to the city. And then when push comes to shove, they don't even know how to find their way again. You just got to go out here and pretend to be something just to get in a situation. Sometimes the opportunity that you had presented to you the first time, you may not get it again. You feel me? 440 for the world, man. Peace.